A very good afternoon to you all, and welcome from me, Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma, to Lunchtime News here on UBC TV this Tuesday, the 12th day of December 2023. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. Now, online media houses have been urged on quality assurance while disseminating news to the masses. Now, the call was made by Mr. Nyombi Tembo, the Uganda Communications Commission's Executive Director, during the media dialogue held here in Kampala. Take a watch.
Today, Uganda is blessed with over 300 radio stations, 30 television stations, 60 print publications, and over 70 online publications. The Executive Director, Uganda Communications Commission, urged the online media houses to ensure the quality of information spread out is worth. According to the Uganda Communications Commission boss Nyombi Tembo, even some of the traditional media has diverted to receiving some of their facts from the online media, which he says may not be genuine.
And the online media. Among other fundamental changes, this third strand has made it possible for anyone holding a smart device with access and data to become a journalist of some sort. That is to say, they are able to capture events as they happen and disseminate news to their audiences far and wide. Now, we had some place where to run to when online media came in. Because for them they are not regulated, we had comfort in the traditional media. Whenever I read online stories, I have to confirm it with the traditional media. What is happening now? What is happening now, the traditional media is quoting online sources. News anchors quoting an online source, even without verifying. And quite in some instances, because the quality assurance in that space is really, to say the least, just for purposes of being a bit courteous, but quality assurance is not there. I know what you go through, the traditional media, quality control from senior editors, the editorial policy, but quite some of these platforms, these are individuals. Nyombi Tembo, with his phone, starts an online platform and starts churning out news. Then the traditional media are quoting these people. So it's really a controversy because the comfort was that, okay, there's no problem with the online media, we can cross-check with the traditional media. But now the traditional media seems to be now getting the online media as their main source.
There was a call for gender equality in the media houses to ensure a healthy work environment for every journalist.
Opportunities and equal pay for equal work that is delivered by women and men. Another important point that I would like to emphasize is the issue of a safe working environment. I've been following the media. A number of women are complaining of sexual violence. Of course, sexual violence is almost in all professions in Uganda, but it seems in the media it is a very big issue.
It was noted that the digitalization of media has greatly contributed to the poor pay of some journalists.
End up being as if you are useless because what you're going to put across or on maybe, because our news are scheduled really. So by the time you professionally prepare your bulletin or item, it is already out there. It is already consumed. So for the employers, who are actually, most of them are business people and politicians, that doesn't make so much sense. And it lowers the bargaining power for the journalists.
This annual journalism convention was under the theme Media and Development. Brian Tumwenebiaruhanga, UBC News.
Now, the 24th Eastern Africa Zonal Scouts Educational Camp on innovating the next step is on at Kazi National Scouts Camp in Wakiso District. The Assistant Commissioner of the National Secretariat for Patriotism Corps in the Office of the President, Mubarak Magomo, encourages the Scouts fraternity to embrace innovation on their scouting journey.
The Scouts Association is hosting the 24th Eastern Africa Zonal Scouts Educational Camp, bringing together 8 countries: Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, Liberia, and Ethiopia, with over 2,000 scouts and elders participating in the one-week convention. In a speech delivered by Pamela Watuambazi, representing Mubarak Magom, the Assistant Commissioner, National Secretariat for Patriotism Corps, said the emphasis was based on the camp's importance in changing the mindset of youth.
And some of the key areas that we have put emphasis this year is on mindset transformation for the young people, technology and ICT for young people to harness what is already available for them and utilize it to market themselves, market the country, market their potential and their passions. And then lastly, mindset change. We believe that the young people today are clogged in mindset ignorance.
Commissioner for Physical Education and Sports, responsible for Scouts and Guides at the Ministry of Education and Sports, Dr. Duncan Mugume, acknowledged the President's support for the Scouts fraternity and the unity of East African nations.
Apart from training the head, we also train the heart. Because we always stand together and say, on my honor, I promise that I will do my best to do my duty to God, to help other people at all times, to do my duty to my country, and to obey the Scout law. If I do duty to God, if I do duty to my country, if I help other people, which other association can do that other than Scouting?
The National Executive Commissioner of the Uganda Scouts Association, David Muledu, announced partnerships with Serena Heights Kazi Venture and the Ministry of Works and Transport to develop Scouts headquarters, accommodation facilities, a sports arena, and a marine rescue center at Kazi camping site.
This will help us to comfortably host other activities that shall be offered to us in the near future.
And our zone, we come together, we share our experience, we empower ourselves in different capacity building activities, and we bring together our youth to share, to learn, and exchange some ideas and exchange some experiences and skills to see how we can empower our nation.
Sudat Kaye and Henry Muganga, UBC News.
Now, the National Organizing Committee of the Non-Aligned Movement Conference and the G77 Plus China Summit has convened in Kampala to assess the preparation levels and draw a way forward on what might be lagging to ensure the deadline of the 15th of January 2024 is met. Our reporter, Robert Onyango, spoke to some delegates on the sidelines of the meeting at Sheraton Hotel here in Kampala and filed the following report.
Uganda is hosting the 2024 Non-Aligned Movement and the G77 Plus China Heads of States Summits in January 2024. As part of the preparations, the organizing team continue holding engagements to brainstorm about the summits.
We shall have interpretation for all official meetings in the 4 official working languages of NAM: English, Arabic, French, and Spanish.
The Monday meeting held in Kampala has mainly been attended by advanced teams from participating countries.
The government of Uganda has made arrangements to ease entry of summit participants into the country. In this regard, gratis visas will be granted to all members of official delegations. To facilitate this process, delegations are required to provide, through diplomatic channels, official delegation lists with the passport numbers to facilitate this process. Registration and accreditation of all summit participants will be done online through the accreditation portals of the 2 summits. Each of the summits has a different accreditation portal, and the credentials shall be different. Given that all member states are represented at the UN, United Nations, login credentials for the two summits have been sent to your missions in New York to share with the designated delegations point of contact.
The day's deliberations focused on preparedness of facilities such as accommodation, routes, among others.
Location of the rooms in Munyonyo, where the two committees will be taking place. And this will determine the number of participants. But most likely, it will be on the basis of 1+1, or at most a 1+2. The accommodation at the summit venue is not sufficient to accommodate all the delegations. Accordingly, a number of hotels have been identified for use during the summits. After the briefing, I request delegations that are present to inspect available accommodation options and reserve rooms for members of your delegations who may not be catered for under the courtesy arrangements.
The main accommodation venue is going to be Sickle Resort Munyonyo and has those facilities, but as you may appreciate, they are not sufficient for everybody, and we shall have a dialogue with you on how we make bookings, and our teams will be telling you what will be available for each delegation. So another hotel is Sheraton Hotel, where we are here. Next is Serena Hotel. Serena has two hotels, one in Kampala, another one near Sickle Resort Munyonyo, which again you are going to visit. Then the other three hotels, Misty Skies, 4 Points, Sheraton, which are within the city, which you'll have an opportunity to visit and make a choice as to where you want to put your head of delegation.
On behalf of the host country, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Vincent Wagire, says everything is progressing on well as earlier planned.
There will be a limited number of vehicles accessing the venue, the summit venue. Accordingly, government has made arrangements to provide shuttle transport for delegates between designated hotels and central locations and the venue. Each delegation will have a detailed or dedicated protocol liaison officer throughout the summit.
The advance team, together with the National Organizing Committee, will on Tuesday this week visit Entebbe International Airport and speak Hotel Munyonyo to address their preparedness. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
To Kanungu now, where residents of Kambuga Town Council in Kanungu District have been urged to desist from politics of identity and embrace development. Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, also Kinkizi East Member of Parliament, says unity is the driver to development. He was launching Nyakundire, a local group bringing people together for development. Henry Okrut reports.
This is how united people were at Kambuga as they welcomed their area Member of Parliament for Kinkizi East, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi. Dr. Baryomunsi is also Minister for ICT and National Guidance. He was launching Nyakundire Group.
Shabangu omubuli teka okutayayira otuteekateekaho okutayayira president witu otuijuke.
The group unites locals across sub-counties in Kinkizi East constituency for development. But fronting of religious differences seems a challenge.
Tuine ekizibu ky'okushorora abantu twaba nituza kubugana hamwe n'ekizibu cy'amadini
kandi mbashaba kugira ngo tubena tugira umutima gumwe kandi twatanise turugo mu dini turugo muri za rwango twena twatujye bunyekundira tugira ki tukundane tuba mu ndogu omwe.
It is this similar message Dr. Baryomunsi has for the local community.
Umuntu yari munyakatoliki mureka shobedi ndiye munyakatoliki omukereziya ni yari kwenda. Eri wogi mu kristayo uzo mu kanisa no shome buri yo mashomedini yari kwenda koga kitabanganisa mwa kuba muri yo mudiniza ziriki zarushwana kwa mwena muri abana ba ruhanga.
He challenged the locals to embrace unity, one of the values of the national resistance movement.
Nechereza omubumwe no kwatanisa teri kwikiriza omukweyahuramu oba n'inganda n'inga madini.
Henry Okrut, UBC.
We'll now take a short break, but we'll be returning with much more. Do stay with us.
Jovia ng'oyolekera ku lugendo luno olw'obulamu nkuwa ekirabo eky'amaanyi agatazizibwa, amaanyi okulabibwa n'okuwulirwa mu mawanga ag'ewala ennyo, okutuuka buli wamu nga yadde togenzeeyo, ensi yonna ng'ekuli mu ngalo. Okutambula mu biseera n'okumanya buli kimu ekirina okumanyibwa. Jovia, kino kye kirabo kyange gy'oli.
Tewali kkubo ku ki ky'osobola okukola ku mukutu nnandameggwa ogwa MTN.
The Uganda Bureau of Statistics would like to inform all stakeholders that His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, will launch the National Population and Housing Census of 2024 on Tuesday, the 12th of December 2023 at the Kololo Independence Grounds at 2 p.m. Follow the proceedings live on radio, television and online platforms. It matters to be counted. Signed by Dr. Chris Ndatira Mukiza, the Executive Director, Uganda Bureau of Statistics.
Junko, yo, what check the shopping man. What's your secret? Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM? Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk. No, it is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving. Junko, I thought I was one of your friends. You are, but you left me behind. I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Welcome back from that break, and this is Lunchtime News here on UBC TV. I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. Let's talk some business now. Now, medical practitioners want government to impose compulsory testing of sickle cell disease to Ugandans due to its high prevalence. Busoga region records the highest numbers with 5,000 cases of children born with sickle cell disease annually. We have more in this story.
Statistics at the Ministry of Health show that Busoga region registers about 5,000 cases of children born with sickle cell disease annually. In the previous health camps conducted by Panda Clinic, in 5 children tested, at least 3 had sickle cell anemia. The lead doctor at Panda Children's Clinic, Ginger, Dr. Muyomba Fahad, says the situation is getting out of hand and government should impose compulsory testing of children.
Let's double our efforts. Let it be compulsory. Bonji mu east mu west gebuli webunatukira mu central gwanga yona ligenda kuba lijudde ba Sickles nga bangi, so decisions zotukola kati zituyamba protecting the generations ezijja.
The director Panda Children's Clinic, Dr. Cosmas Malinga, says government should embark on serious sensitization on how to curb the disease.
One of the reasons why the Soga region can be ranking with a lot of cases, over 5,000 cases every year, it's because there is less sensitization in the community. So some of the awareness campaigns we are doing are holding these medical camps to create awareness and also test the community.
In addition to HIV testing, the medical practitioners further advise institutions like churches to marry only couples who are sickle cell free to curb generation transmission of sickle cell disease.
They can do tests to get to know if they have sickle cell or not, if they are carriers or not, because this will have a genetic issue that will affect the children.
Sickle cell is an inherited disorder that affects the red blood cells.
Uganda Cooperative Alliance is training district commercial officers from Buganda and Busoga regions to improve their operational conditions. A State Minister for Cooperatives, Fred Gume, opened the ceremony for the last batch of the trained commercial officers at Estella Country Resort in Chira Municipality.
The new implementation of the parish model and the Myoga Circle posed a challenge to district and urban commercial officers, since most of them had no prior background training on cooperatives management. At the skilling for district commercial officers, State Minister for Cooperatives Fred Gume encouraged the officers to take on the task.
You must be visible very loudly but cleanly. The positions you have are your products of a political function.
The Uganda Cooperatives Alliance and central government are skilling commercial officers on the new modalities of supervising circles, starting with Mbarara for Western Region, Fort Portal for Midwestern Region, Gulu for Northern, Mbale for Eastern, with the last batch for Buganda and Busoga regions, today at Estella County Hotel, Nigeria.
We realized that commercial officers needed skilling, and this was informed by a study that we made, because we made a study and actually discovered that most of the commercial officers who have been recruited by the district service commissioners have not been oriented in cooperatives.
Some members of parliament pledged to support the program.
We politicians interfere in the management of the circles. We may find an MP wants to fight or any leader, political leader wants to fight the leadership of the circle or a cooperative.
We just give our commitment as Parliament. I'm opposition, but what benefits people is what I support. I'm a new member of Parliament, but I support development issues.
Some commercial officers share their challenges in the execution of their duties.
Make sure that the departments are fully staffed with substantive officers right from sub-counties, and also funded well.
One of the issues which is still disturbing us is our recognition. It seems other people don't understand us. You go into the act, you find they are looking at cooperative officers, and yet it is clearly that we are supposed to be called commercial officers.
Uganda Cooperative Alliance statistics show that Uganda has over 43,000 circles, some of which are a result of PDM and Myoga programs.
Jovia.
ng'oyolekera ku lugendo luno olw'obulamu. Nkuwa ekirabo eky'amaanyi agatazizibwa. Amaanyi okulabibwa n'okuwulirwa mu mawanga ag'ewala ennyo. Okutuuka buli wamu nga yadde togenzeeyo. Ensi yonna ng'ekuli mu ngalo. Okutambula mu biseera n'okumanya buli kimu ekirina okumanyibwa. Jovia, kino kye kirabo kyange gy'oli.
Tewali kumuko ky'osobola okukola omukutu nandameggwa ogwa MTN.
Welcome back. Let's have a look at sports news now, and we're looking at rugby, where the Uganda Rugby Union, URU, officially closed the 2022-2023 season with an awards night on Saturday, December the 9th, 2023 at the Kampala Serena Hotel. It was a glamorous black tie event where rugby top performers of the season were rewarded. Peace Lekuru and Pius Ogena were crowned most valuable players for the women and men's teams respectively.
Peace Lekuru retained the Women's MVP Award of the Year, while Pius Ongena took over the Men's Award from teammate Adrian Casito. Other winners included Shafiq Sembusi for Men's Upcoming Player of the Year, Men's Golden Boot Ivan Magom, Domestic Coach of the Year Marvin Odong, International Coach of the Year Fred Mudola, Team Manager of the Year Michael Wandera, among other winners.
For starters, this award means a lot to me as a person. We all work towards this such awards. That is why we keep pushing hard, doing our personal stuff so that we be able to get rewarded. I loved the game. I loved what I was doing, so it pushed me to do more. Motivate me in a way that I still want to be up there and win more awards.
It really means a lot to me. It shows me that I have to work so hard, not giving up. We are still going up. As me personally, it starts with me. Then I'm so happy for everyone for always supporting me, believing in me. You know, it doesn't come like simple. That personal effort that you always put in, that's why I won it the second time, because I don't always sleep. I keep on working. I know.
The event was graced by National Council of Sports Chairperson Ambrose Tashobia as the chief guest, who commended the rugby fraternity for the good work.
I want now to assure Uganda Rugby Union that because of the performance, because of the consistency in good governance, because of doing your job in growing the sport, government is committed to supporting Uganda Rugby through and through. So we'll be with you in this journey of development. Keep close to our team at National Council of Sports. Keep us informed of your program. I know you have the repertoire ahead of you and All Africa Games in Ghana. So we'll support you in ensuring that we prepare Team Uganda. Let's continue to believe with the leadership at Uganda Rugby Union. We'll work together to grow this sport in this country.
The night was climaxed by merrymaking, photo moments, and performances from local musicians. Grace Joyce Kemigisa, UBC News.
20 seconds to a half past the hour here in the studios of UBC TV. We finally come to the end of this edition of Lunchtime News here on UBC TV. Thank you so much for having kept us company. My name is Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. Wishing you a blessed afternoon and bon appetit.
Amabara gange ni banyeta Tusime Elizabeth chairperson Chaka Central Market Vendors Circle.
I want to express our gratitude to the government for providing us with Emyoga funds. As business women, we are dedicated to enhancing our living